standing here next to the Infiniti Q50, which is our product in what we call the D segment, so a segment in which you find cars like BMW 3 Series, Audi A4, Mercedes C-Class. This is our alternative in that segment. Our intention is to propose something different. The car is built on our front midship platform, which means that the engine is in the front, longitudinal position, and all the power goes to the rear. So all cars are rear-wheel drive, which is also expressed in the design of our cars, with the cabin which is pulled backwards as much as possible on the rear axle, and underlined by this waistline, which I personally like to call the shoulder, and is inspired by the shape of an ocean wave before it hits the shore, so something very powerful to express the fact that the car is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. Other design features which are typical Japanese, because Infiniti is a Japanese brand, we find in the design of the rear doors with a crescent cut, like the shape of a crescent moon, or in the design of the headlights, which is inspired by a human eye, where you have the main headlight unit like a pupil of an eye, and the daytime running lamps in the shape of an eyebrow. Today we're introducing a third engine on the Q50. It's a 2-liter petrol turbo engine, and which is joining a lineup which has been available with a 2.2-liter diesel 4-cylinder since the beginning of the year, and also on the other side of the spectrum a 3.5 V6 petrol engine combined with an electric motor, so a hybrid technology, which is delivering up to 364 horsepower. The 2-liter turbo, which we're introducing today, is a 4-cylinder engine combined with a 7-speed automatic gearbox, and delivering 211 horsepower and an impressive torque of 350 Newton meters. Other than that, it is a Q50, so we find some of the groundbreaking technologies from the Q50, like the one just behind the steering wheel, direct adaptive steering, by-wire technology inspired directly by aeronautics, fighter jets, commercial planes, where we replace the mechanical connection between the steering wheel and the front wheels and replace it by a set of cables, wires, calculators and electric motors, in order to allow for a full digital transmission of the steering wheel input to the front wheels. By doing this, we have a steering which is a lot more responsive, because sending the data is very quick, there's no friction, no inertia coming from mechanical components. We can also offer with this steering system a very differentiated setting in terms of driving modes between the standard steering modes, more sporty or more comfortable oriented steering mode. We can filter out some of the negative feedback, like the little vibrations which you feel on the road, which are transmitted to the steering wheel. With this technology we can filter that out for a more pure, a more direct and more comfortable steering feel. Other than that, the Q50 is also fitted with several safety technologies: advanced emergency braking, lane departure prevention systems, active lane control, backup collision intervention, so a wide range of safety features which are there to assist the driver and to make the overall driving of the Q50 a lot more safe. Most striking feature in the interior of the Q50 is what you see in the center console, with the adoption of two central screens. Both of them are touch screens. We have the upper screen, which is more an information screen, like the data or the map from the navigation system, but it is a touch screen, so you can push your finger on the screen in order to access a menu, for example, like this, or you can also zoom in and zoom out with the pinching function just by the use of your two fingers. The lower screen here, it is for me a control center. Through this screen you access each one of the vehicle functions, be it the phone, be it air conditioning, be it the radio, for example, each one of the vehicle functions, or the vehicle settings. It's organized like a tablet, so with the use of icons. You have several screens, so you can navigate through the different screens by pushing on that little arrow or by sliding your finger. There's a total of 96 parameters that can be accessed through this screen and can be personalized. So if your Q50 is fitted also with the intelligent key, all of the features that are being personalized will be memorized by the intelligent key, so that the car automatically adapts to your preferred settings for seating position, steering wheel position, rear mirror position, but also temperature of the air conditioning, favorite radio stations, and the personal drive mode that you've set into the system. Everything will be automatically recognized and adjusted to your liking.
Can you show some features?
Yes, for example, here we are in the personal mode, so we can choose basically the combination of settings that you wish. For the engine, for example, you can choose between sport standard or snow mode in this case. You can also adjust the steering. We have a certain number of preset modes, but there you have in sport mode, for example, you have the engine and gearbox in sport mode and the steering in sport mode. In your personal mode, you can actually combine both. You can have a more sporty engine, but if you like a more comfortable steering, then you can set that in the personal settings. Also, the intensity of the active lane control it can be changed as well through this screen. Furthermore, in terms of safety features, you can also personalize. If, for example, you do not want to have the warning signal in case you cross the line, but you can switch that off, but still keep the prevention aspect of the lane departure system, so that the car will effectively brake and move you back into the lane when you cross the line. Also through this screen you can access a certain number of applications like your email, your calendar, or applications like Facebook or Google Online Search, which are applications that will run in your smartphone, but by creating a connection, a link between your smartphone and the system, you can read your emails on the screen in the vehicle, or actually a lot more safer, you can have them read to you by the vehicle. So whenever you get an email or even an SMS, you can listen to the message and keep your eyes focused on the road. Linked to the direct adaptive steering technology that we mentioned before is another feature called active lane control, which is a proactive lane keeping feature. There is a camera here in the windshield which is reading the lines on a highway, for example, and keeping the car in between those lines in a proactive way by giving small steering inputs before a vehicle has crossed the line. It will bring the vehicle back in parallel with the line. This system can be activated through the central screen as well. And actually you can see the activation, you can see the check if the system is activated on the little screen in the combi meter, where you have the matrix on which the car is projected there. As soon as you activate the active lane control, the matrix, the flat matrix, becomes a half pipe, some kind of tube, underlining or showing that the vehicle will be kept like in a virtual tube. It will be kept within the lanes. And this feature has been designed mainly to assist the driver on highway driving, so it is operational above 70 kilometers per hour, and so is designed to counteract or to correct the vehicle direction, the vehicle steering, in case of side winds or in case of an undulating road, or in case you're slightly drifting. The car will correct and keep you within the lane, obviously in order to avoid contact with other vehicles.
Mm. Are there other safety features?
Yes, we have a distance control assist, which is a system actually monitoring the distance to the car in front of you and the gap in terms of speed with the car in front of you. So when you're nearing a traffic light, for example, a vehicle standing still, and you're nearing that vehicle, the car will first of all warn you to say there is a car standing still there, so you need to slow down. If for any reason the driver cannot respond quick enough, the vehicle will also slow down for you and brake the vehicle, coming to a complete stop. We also have a blind spot intervention system, lane departure prevention system as well. Backup collision intervention, which is a system, it's when you're backing out of a parking space on the supermarket, for example. The system will use the rear view camera and the rear parking sensors in order to detect objects which are either standing still, like a little wall on a parking space, or objects moving, like another vehicle or somebody coming with his caddy filled with groceries from the supermarket. It will detect this, warn the driver, but also brake the car and come to a complete stop once again in order to avoid a collision. And then maybe last but not least, advanced emergency braking, which is a feature related to the capacity of the vehicle to come to a complete stop from a certain speed without any intervention of the driver. So also there to avoid collisions. Okay.
Do you love this car?
I like this car, yeah, very much. Yeah, I like to drive it. It's really a different feeling. Direct adaptive steering maybe takes some adjustment. You need to get used to this driving. But once you are used to it, it's actually difficult to come back to a traditional or a conventional hydraulic steering system, because it is a new driving experience where the car, direct adaptive steering, it is the most responsive steering. So it reacts very quickly, which is the part that you have to get used to. But once you're used to that, you adjust your driving to it, then actually it's very difficult to move away from the direct adaptive steering.